Instead of dialing 911, I pulled out my life insurance policy, climbed in bed, and said my prayers. So I managed to live a very full life with my beautiful family until October 1st, 2008. I found a lump in my right breast. That's when everything changed. It was cancer. But there was one person in particular who always kept me driven, even when I tried to give up. Yvonne was born in Sharon, Mississippi, great-grandchild of slaves, married at 15, had her first child at 16. She endured repeated domestic violence, but for fear of the lives of her children, didn't run until they were safely tucked away. Although her life was ahead of her, she was living for her children. Wanting to set an example for her 2 daughters and her 2 sons, she would not allow other societal role models to set the paths for her children. Yvonne decided to live in her own power. 5 years after her last child was born, she received her GED, scoring in the top 5% of all people who had ever taken the test since it started. She received straight A's in all courses leading to an associate's degree, and she went on to become one of the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's leading systemic investigators. And I was fascinated by her tenacity and incentivized by her actions for 2 reasons. First, I too have 2 daughters and was a single parent after a failed marriage. Secondly, Yvonne is my mom. She died while I was going through chemo. After just 3 rounds of chemo, I was home alone and developed crushing chest pain. Instead of dialing 911, I pulled out my life insurance policy, climbed in bed, and said my prayers. After about 6 hours, much to my dismay, I woke up. That night, when I wanted to die, I was tired of the fight, and I did not want to live without my mom. But I truly believe that if I don't give life my all, she will rise up, come and find me, and knock some sense into me. Pain can cause us to be so selfish, because in that moment, I couldn't see how my dying would cause my daughters to live without theirs. But in my mom's life, and even in her death, I was able to find my purpose. I changed my outlook, and I found that people can alter their lives by altering their attitudes. Your parents would never want you to view their lives as a failure, but you are not a failure because you try something and it doesn't work out. You fail only when you stop trying. But just when I was getting back on track, lymphedema set in. The lymph nodes in my right arm had been completely destroyed between the surgery and the radiation, leaving me with permanent, severe swelling of my right arm, hand, and fingers. The swelling made performing the clinical aspects of my job impossible. The job I've always wanted since I was 2. I'm forced to wear compression garments daily in order to control the swelling. And to add insult to injury, at the time my boss told me, "Sheri, a physician who is not clinically capable is of no value to me." I had the great pleasure of less than 1 year later of informing him that I was now the national spokesperson for the Susan G. Komen 3-Day, the world's largest breast cancer organization. As a physician and a patient, I changed my perspective. I want you to be bold in your living. Be willing to take action when others won't. None of us were made for easy. Being alive entails more than mere existence. You must choose not to relinquish your power to misperceptions, fears, painful situations, or people. Nothing can get in your way or prevent you from reaching your goal without your permission. The human existence is paradoxically so frail and yet so powerful. Hooking into that power is what allows us to turn struggles into triumphs, bring visions into existence, and dreams into reality. By breathing new life into dying hope. The hope that sees the invisible, feels the intangible, and believes the impossible. This is your new beginning. Your time to get up and get on with your dream, your vision, your life, because it belongs to you.